My ad was approved. What's up, M. Ruos? I'm in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Where are you guys watching from? All right, we are live. Got the feed. I think we are all set. This will be a first time going live in my regular Facebook account. So we'll kind of see how this goes. All right, guys, we are live. Did I do this in the group? Where is this? This is tricky. What's up, Fat Six Outdoors? Hey guys, let me know where you are watching from. Just got this going and I might have done something funky. Okay, so it is just live on my personal profile. Perfect. Which is giving this a whirl for the first time. Just going live. So let me know where you guys are watching from, who is watching. I am here to talk about the Michigan Maker Summit coming up next weekend. What's up, Dead City Customs? How are you doing? I cannot see any chat yet. So if you are watching, do me a favor, throw something in the comments. There we go. Christina, what's up? All right, Molly is here. Christina, thank you so much for your TikTok. It was incredible. I absolutely loved it. And then I watched all your videos, and then my daughter watched all your videos too. So thank you guys for being here. Appreciate that. Christina, what are you up to? What are you working on? I love your fade in, fade out TikToks. I want to try to copy those in a good way. Bay Area. Check out Christina's Facebook group, Bay Area Blanks. I believe that is the name of the group. Correct me if I'm wrong. I was on there checking out some blanks yesterday. So we're going to go over the Michigan Maker Summit kind of in general, just to get everybody in the loop. We did fill up the hotel as of today. So on Monday, I will need to try to add some more rooms to the hotel. We should be able to. I did not realize how good of a rate I negotiated. I thought I only had like $60 or $80 off the regular rate, but as of right now, the rate I had negotiated is $100 less a night than what the regular rate is. Hey Kim, how are you? Dad, what's going on? But so yeah, I'll have to get on there on Monday and negotiate adding a couple more rooms because the hotel is booked, and I can't tell you guys any more information yet. But we may or may not have one last vendor that wants to join the fun, which is pretty exciting. It's about to be dinner time. Oh, that's right. You're what, 3 hours back? Well, let's get into it. We're gonna go over the Michigan Maker Summit, just kind of skim over some stuff. And if you guys are wanting to come, it's very important, get a ticket as quickly as possible, because after today, you don't get the fancy badge. You get to just write your name on the badge with a Sharpie, which is no fun for anybody. We're also going to be hitting the cutoff for shirts and hats. So if you wanted to be able to get a shirt or a hat at the event, you'll want to get those ordered so that those will be there. You can also order those if you're not coming and you still wanted to get a Michigan Maker Summit shirt or hat. You can order those for delivery as well. They will just get delivered to your house instead of pick up at the event. All right, let's get into it. So the Michigan Maker Summit is going to be taking place in Rockford, Michigan. And the only way we could have really pulled this off as we did was to be as close to home as possible. So it's going to be happening at the Oakfield Baptist Church. They've got a really cool sports facility and a school. They've got awesome sports programs that we are blessed for our kids to be a part of. It's just a really good time. They do some pretty cool stuff for the kids. When in basketball, they kill all the lights in the basketball court and they turn on a spotlight and the kids run out of the court and the announcers like, Brinley Sanborn 3'8". Yeah, I don't know how tall she is. They introduce them and they come up and they're super excited. They're giving high fives. The kids really look forward to it. So having the opportunity to have something there was just really, really exciting to be able to help, contribute to their sports programs as well. The cutoff is today. Um, so that's where it's going to be taking place is at the Oakfield Baptist Church, which is really exciting. If it would have been anywhere else further from home, there's no way that I could have taken this on, and that just would not have worked. So having a facility, it's literally in our backyard. Our kids are lucky enough to be able to walk to their sports programs. I don't know if you guys have kids in sports, but you've got to drive your kids to practice, drive your kids to the games. You're there for 4 hours. We just send the kids like, hey, yeah, go walk over to practice, and we don't have to take care of any of that. What else do you want to get into? So, what makes the Michigan Maker Summit different than other conferences or things like this? It's kind of a step above a meetup. It is, and it's a little less than a conference. I really wanted these to be something where you can get hands on. I talk to way too many people when I'm at these things where they say, "Oh yeah, I've had my laser for 6 months now, and I just don't have the courage to turn it on," or I've got my hat press and I haven't used it yet, or list any of the equipment that everyone has. I know when I used to talk to I had a friend Bree who was into sewing, and she'd have the same thing. They had a sewing machine that they never got into, and I want people to have the confidence. What? Don't quit my day job. I guess I missed the context. Announcing doesn't seem to be my thing. Thanks. I want people to have the confidence to get into those things that they've purchased, those investments that they've made. I want them to feel confident in it. So the breakouts that we're going to have are going to be small. They're going to be intimate. Now there will be one larger breakout taking place, but the smaller ones are going to be things like designing and making a hat patch. And people are going to be in this classroom setting, and they're going to be able to get hands on pressing the hat and seeing how to design a hat. And really, I want to break through some of those barriers where people are struggling to have the confidence to do some of those things. Alan, he's going to be teaching people how to design, put a picture with the fiber laser. So he's going to show them, this is what your dot size is on your fiber laser, or how to figure that out. So that'll be a little bit different than normal. What's up, Justin? How are you doing? Um, and that's how all the breakouts are really designed to be, is to get hands on with things. Catherine Ewers is going to be going from box to bow, really talking about packaging. That's something that we never got into in our business. Working on those final products for consumers, we never really got into that final packaging and really perfecting that. It's something that even as a wholesaler, it's something I think that we could improve on in general. We're going to have Travis and Jay are going to be teaching you guys how to make 3D printed jigs and why you need a 3D printer. Uh, that's why we got our 3D printer, was just to print some jigs. We would do some giveaways. We would sell some jigs. But I wanted them to teach you guys how to make some of those basic jigs. And I wanted it to be a free resource. It took some extra work for Jay and Travis, but they figured out how to do it with FreeCAD so that you guys have a free way to get out there and figure out how to make a jig for some of those blanks that you guys want to engrave. I want that to be something that you're able to do on your own. So that'll be pretty exciting. Good evening, sir. Let's see. Then Maria is going to be Oh, that's the hat patch we talked about. That's going to be Maria teaching that breakout. Alan Miller, high resolution photo engraving, and then Nick Vespa. So if you don't know who Nick Vespa is, he is Build Dad Build. So if you go on to YouTube and you look up Build Dad Build, he is going to be there, and he is going to be teaching on build your brand, social media for makers. And that's something I talk about a little bit too, but I have nowhere near the success that Nick does. Now, I will say the first thing, and Nick may or may not agree with this, I'm not positive. The first thing I say is make some content and just get it out there. Like, not doing anything or not putting out any content does not, it won't get you anywhere. But taking that chance, making some content, whether that's pictures or videos or whatever, getting on your Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, getting that stuff out there gives you the opportunity to get some exposure with people. So that'll be really interesting to see what Nick touches on there. And then on the vendor room floor, these last two are only going to have one session because they're going to be taking place on the vendor room floor, and I didn't want other noise to interfere with those breakouts. So we're going to have high resolution photo engraving with a CO2 laser and light burn. That's going to be with Derek Lee from AP Laser, and then we're going to have beyond the surface depth engravings with XCS with Ben Henry and Jacob Ramiro. That's going to be pretty cool. At the last Michigan Summit, Ben was a rock engraving machine, and people just love getting hands on with some of those rock engravings. And I thought it'd be cool for them to go over some stuff like that. Let's see. Not engraved badge. It's the cutoff is to get today to get the UV printed badge. So any tickets purchased after today, the 20th, they will be a blank space on the badge, and you'll just hand write your name on the badge. Let's see what else. We talked about the location. Check-in starts at 7 a.m. on the 27th. And I lengthened that a little bit. Originally I had it at 7:30, but I just wanted to make sure we didn't have a rush. I wanted people to be able to come in, have some coffee, because this is really all about networking, and the theme you're going to hear over and over is going to be design your blueprint, build your foundation, and find your people. I want everyone to leave the summit having grown that foundation with some other people that are there in attendance that you can connect with. Let's say you need somebody for UV printing resource. Boom, we've got Jim. Let's say you need a resource for good wood materials. You've got David from Creative Cut Supplies. Let's say you need acrylic. You've got two great options. We got Houston acrylic, and you're going to have RZ there as well. So you're going to have lots of resources that you guys can add to the foundation of your business. I want us all to know each other, and I want it to be something that we are working on this together, and genuinely growing in business together. That is the goal. My goal is to never just sell you guys something. I want you to be successful with what you're doing. Let's see. We talked about the breakouts, and I guess I kind of skipped over the main speakers. I'll be introducing Mark and Will. They'll be talking about community over competition. Justin is saying he's only got 1.5-hour drive over. Yeah, you could stay in the hotel, although hopefully I can get more discounted rates. But yeah, I apologize. 1 hour and a half though isn't terrible. And then we are also going to have Tong Lee and Tony Miller. They're also going to be doing a breakout. Those will be taking place in the larger space that we'll have there for everybody instead of those smaller, more intimate ones. Let me know if you are watching. Are Christina and Kim, are you guys still watching? So this is my first time going live just in my personal profile and not in a Facebook group. That may or may not have been a good strategy. I wasn't sure. I figured I would give it a whirl. And then over on the TikTok, we've got Justin watching. I thought I saw one more person I knew. Teasy Weezy Designs. What else? Any other questions about the Michigan Maker Summit? Something I had kind of just an idea was dinner afterwards. There's a local restaurant. There is a local restaurant called Applewood Kitchen and Bar where I've got a room held that holds 50 people, so that after the summit, the reservation's at 7:30. We could still meet up there, do a little more networking and socializing. Just with the 1-day event, trying to fit in another meal really wouldn't have given us any additional time. So we'll have to figure out, what we want to do in the future. I'll be sending out some surveys to figure out, do we want it to be a 2-day event? Is 1 day good enough? So you guys can kind of let me know your thoughts on that aspect of things. Let's see. Let's talk about the sponsors. Because truly, I feel so blessed for the way this came together. Thank you both for still being here. Oh, looks like we got 18 people watching now. Throw some stuff in the comments if you guys are watching. There is going to be a 2026, looking at some possible dates. Right now, the first or the second weekend of March. APA is the weekend before. We just have got to look at some holidays. We've got Mother's Day, and and a couple other things there. We just got to make sure we get a good date in there. But yeah, probably around March, April area. We got to think about spring break. So once we find a good date in there, that's the approximate time that it's going to be. So Justin is asked saying that he wants to learn more about engraving on real leather. So that is a good question. I'll have to ask Maria if she has much experience with real leather. I know we have not done much purely based on the smell aspect. Will we have time to eat during lunch? Yes, Kim, there will be time to eat during lunch. Lunch is actually going to be broken into kind of three smaller sections. The first group is going to be released straight from the breakout that they're in, and the lunch area only holds about 60 to 80 people comfortably. So we're going to rotate in. We'll be in kind of three groups potentially, where we'll go eat lunch and kind of rotate out, and then you'll have more time in the vendor area to check that stuff out. But the goal is that you will have dedicated time for lunch. All right, I'm going to switch back to the vendors. And I know I've said this a bunch, but truly, guys, the way this all came together with the vendors just blows my mind. I did not expect to get all the love and support from everybody in the community that I did. Yesterday morning, was yesterday Friday? Yesterday morning, I got a voice message from Emily Caroline, telling me that it was okay to post in her group, and very positive message. And it's just kind of the crazy thing. It just doesn't even feel real sometimes. All the people that came together to really make this happen. It's unreal. You know, Christina, we met in person the once. I sent you a random message. Hey, can you make a TikTok video for the Michigan Laser Summit? And boom, Christina makes a nice TikTok for the Michigan Maker Summit. So definitely check her out on TikTok if you don't follow her. Very entertaining videos for her tumblers and other products. So some of the sponsors, I've got Alive Pixel Creations on there. They are not going to be there in person. We will have some of their products on display, which are the jigs that they make. They'll be displaying our products in their jigs. AP Laser is going to be there. They're based in Lansing, Michigan. So they're definitely going to be a company that's going to be a part of this with us. It's so cool having a larger laser company right here in West Michigan. I've had the honor of touring their facility. Beautiful facility, amazing technology in their lasers as well. Do we pack a lunch? No, Kim, we'll be serving lunch. I'm sorry, that should definitely take a look. And if I need to communicate that better on the website, please let me know. There will be snacks after the first breakout, after the second breakout, and then in the middle there, we do provide lunch. Let's see. Back to the vendors. Creative Cut Supplies. We can skip that one. No, I'm just kidding. David, as many of you guys know, David and I, we are very good friends. We talk probably 5-6 times a day at least. David calls me. I like to send him the voicemail just for fun. But we try to partner ourselves with other businesses who share the same values as we do. That's why we work with companies like Alive Pixel, AP Laser, Creative Cut Supplies, RZ Acrylics, Monarch Pine, X Tool, PDS Equipment, Lens Digital, Houston Acrylic, Trotec, Eufy. These are all companies that I know and have met in person. The Trotec guys at Next Level, they were all coming on over and getting their belts engraved. And it was just nice to meet these people. And these are all companies that are a part of our foundation. Robin's watching on TikTok. She's a part of our foundation. These companies are companies that care about the customer, and they're not just trying to make a sale. They all have that passion for the people. Creative Cut Supplies, David, RZ Acrylics, Rob. If you guys have not met Rob, he's cool. He's local. He is just across the Michigan border. So he is a part of the Michigan group and gets together with stuff that we do there. So it'll be cool to have Rob there with RZ Acrylics. Trotec, their headquarters is in Michigan. So that was pretty cool to learn. And I reached out to them, and they were happy to come to the summit. And I know all of you know Monarch Pine, Katie with Monarch Pine. Hannah is going to be here representing, and it is going to be fun with them. They always do very interactive booths, and that's a lot of fun to see that in action. Who else is watching on Facebook? Throw some stuff in the comments for me so I can see that you guys are here. Looks like my pinned comment is still there from before. There we go. I took care of that. I'm sorry. That was from the other night. Robin, what are you up to? Let's see. Who else? We talked about Monarch Pine. We got X Tool. Jacob and Ben from the get go have been a huge help in pulling everything together for the Michigan Maker Summit, getting X Tool on board and getting equipment here. They're bringing their personal machines um, to demonstrate and show. Uh, Jacob is bringing the P3, and Ben is going to be bringing the F2 Ultra, I believe. And I believe they're probably bringing more, but I don't want to commit to anything else. I know they're bringing those for sure. What's up, Tyler? How are you doing? Tyler and I have been chatting today about the Eufy. Let's see, PDS equipment. And again, these companies that we try to partner with, guys, are awesome. Steve with PDS has been a great resource and like a business owner that, you know, I'm able to talk to and reach out to. He's a real person. His passion is helping you guys be successful in business. Same thing. Before you commit to buying that UV printer with Steve, he's going to go through, what's your business plan? And he's going to tell you, hey, you got to sell this many tumblers to pay for a UV printer. It's pretty funny to hear him talk about that kind of stuff. Lens Digital is going to be there. I begged and begged to get the Vertigo, but that is tied up, so it's too bad. But we could not get the Vertigo on site. But Don will be there. He's going to have some rotaries on display. They're going to have the new Pyburn Light, which will be cool to see in person. I think that looks like it's going to be a good piece of equipment. Ben is here. What's up, Ben? Ben is going to have the F1 Ultra as well. You're going to have the F2 as well, right? What's up, Michigan Custom Engraving? How are you doing? I don't know who that is. Let's give them a follow. Oh, I did not mean to invite them. Oops. All right, let's see. Who else? Oh, geez. I did it again. Oh, geez. I'm messing this all up. All right, let's see. Lens Digital and Houston Acrylic. So, of all these companies, I would say Houston Acrylic is the one that I have met in person at Next Level Laser Conference. Patrick and I have met there. I believe I met Chelsea as well. But it'll be cool to get to know them a little more in person and see what their culture is like. I mean, they've got a huge community of people. I'm sure we share quite a few people in our group, so I know they are good people. Let's see. We talked about the speakers. We talked about the sponsors. Anybody have any other questions about the Michigan Maker Summit? What do you guys want to see from the Michigan Maker Summit? My goal is to not be another, not to duplicate the Next Level Laser Conference. It's not to be the Next Level Laser Conference. I want it to be something a little bit different, and I want it to really focus on a smaller community of people and really, building that community together. I want, it doesn't have to be, those connections with larger companies. It's also you guys being connections with each other. Tyler and I don't think we actually started that far off of each other. Maybe we had our laser for a year longer than Tyler, but it's been cool to see him grow in his business and all the things that they've been doing. So these connections and the people that are part of your foundation are so valuable in the success of your business. But let me know, what other questions do you have about the Michigan Maker Summit? What do you want to see from the Michigan Maker Summit in the future? And what weekend works for you in March? When is Mother's Day? When is spring break? I don't know the answer to any of these questions. So let's see. The location. I don't know that we would ever really venture too far away from Grand Rapids, Michigan for the summit. I think it would probably stay in that region. Um, Getting closer to Grand Rapids would probably be nice because we'd be closer to the airport. But we are so blessed to have the facility that we have in our backyard. My goal would be to have one more Michigan Maker Summit here at Oakfield Baptist Church, um, because I just think they've got such a cool program, and I'm excited to raise some money to contribute to their facility. and everything that they've got going on there. They're a huge blessing for the community. So if you are new to watching, guys, let me know if who's here, who's watching, where are you watching from. It's telling me that there's 30 people watching. Let's see. So we touched about pretty much everything that I wanted to get into. The goal, I think, next at the next summit, we will have a CNC there this time. That'll just be on display. It's a tabletop CNC, um, and my goal would be at the next one to have one that's running. And the hat is from Dexter. So something that I wanted from people that were contributing to the summit. So, for example, Jim is making our UV name badges. It's going to have Jim's logo on the back of that UV badge. Jim is a part of our foundation. Dexter, he made our hats. I wanted his logo on one side and I wanted our logo on the other. These are the people that are a part of our foundation, and that's why, you know, all of the you're going to see so many things that are there that we're going to be wearing and doing. Torpedo printing is online. That's really good news, Jay. You're gonna have to hook me up some filament. Not hook me up with some filament, but I need to get some filament to try it out. I really want to represent all the different pieces of the puzzle that came together to make this summit happen because it's not me. David and I were talking today, and he's like, "I feel like you did this whole thing yourself," and that's not the case. My mom took on food and beverage, and she has been treating it like a full-time job. I feel bad. She's running the Sam's Club to check things out. She's comparing prices. She has the prices for everything narrowed down, so she knows exactly how much coffee cups are and so many different things. Um, but so many people have come together. You're gonna see so many people be credited to make it happen. Those green and white patches. Um, you want some green and white patches for the Michigan Maker Summit, Ben? All right, guys. If you haven't commented yet, throw some comments in there. I want to know who's here. Oh, that's 38 comments, not how many people are watching. I am totally looking at this funny. So there's 9 people watching and 38 comments. That makes more sense. I was wondering why I was not seeing as many comments come through. I was curious what this would look like going live for my profile instead of into a Facebook group. Normally I would, because I didn't create an event. So it probably doesn't get pushed out to as many people that way either. You bought some green pumpkins today. That's funny. I think that's everything I wanted to talk about, guys. So if you don't have anything else, questions, concerns, or other, I am gonna go ahead and get off. I may switch over to the TikTok. That's where I was dual streaming in, just to see how that goes. Auntie Pam, what's up? Cam, what's up, man? Are you gonna be able to make it over or what? I really want you to come over for the summit. I message. I don't hear back from you. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. I know we're all busy. I'm incredibly busy. I did not have time to for the Michigan Maker Summit, but here we are. Thanks to my wife picking up the slack, we made it happen. We're almost there. 1 week to go. Cam, do you think you're gonna be able to make it over? It'd be pretty cool if you did. It'd be cool to meet you in person. You're in New Jersey from oh, that's right. You told me that already. I'm sorry. You did tell me that already. My bad. Let's see. If you have a restaurant depot close to you, use your business license. It doesn't have to be a food related one, and you can get restaurant pricing for beverages and stuff. Oh, that's good. That's a good call. My mom has it worked out to, I mean, she literally really has the things dialed in. Trying to think, Gordon Food Service, does that count as a food depot? But their prices are ridiculous. We can get stuff at the grocery store cheaper than Gordon Food Service. But maybe with a business license, that's a different situation. I don't know. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to get off. I feel like we touched on everything that I wanted to talk about with the Michigan Maker Summit. If you're watching this video after the fact and you've got some questions, throw some questions down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Are you coming to the Michigan Maker Summit? Are you going to come to the next one? When do you want the next one to be? And what do you want to see? Are UV printers, fiber lasers, CO2 lasers, 3D printers? Is that enough? Or do you want to see us expand into other areas for makers? Let me know your thoughts, questions, concerns, and we will talk about it. Thank you guys all for being here, and have a good night and make good choices.